What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Mooney&munier. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video of Life with Mooney&munier. So today in this video, what we will be talking about is what you guys all been waiting for. The story on my pregnancy, my birth, what it's like being a first-time mom, a single mother at that, and everything in that nature. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We have our guest here today, Mooney. Momo, can we get a round of applause? Yay! So as you guys already know, this is my baby Mooney. He will be born December the 17th, and we will be making another video on his birthday. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna talk about is my pregnancy, how I found out I was pregnant. But before that, I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory. So me and Mooney are dead. We're no longer together now, but we was together when I was 16 years old. I'm now 23 years old. So we got a long history together. And so the first thing I'm gonna talk about is my pregnancy, how I found out. So I found out I was pregnant back in May 2023. Then fun fact, me and my bestie was pregnant at the same exact time. Our due dates was days apart. Mine was initially January the 5th and hers was initially January the 7th. But my son came early and she was having a girl. Her daughter came early. And I told his dad at the time I was pregnant and everything was cool. The first person that I told was my best friend. I sent her the little picture of the pregnancy test, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, we're pregnant! Like, how did this happen? Did we plan this?" No, we didn't plan it. Everybody question was like, "Oh, did y'all plan it? Y'all had to plan it." We didn't plan it. How everyone felt. So after I told my best friend, her name is Janae. After I told her, I told my mom. My mom was shocked. She was like, okay, like I'm already grandma. I thought my mom was going to have a total different reaction, but she didn't. She was actually excited. And then I told my sisters, they were so excited. But at that time, I was not excited because I did not want to have a baby. And then over top of that, my son, Dad, he just already had a baby. And I'm just like, wow, like, we've been together for a long time since I was 16. I'm 23 now. And I didn't have your first baby. But it was cool. I wasn't happy. And so I was still, you know, considering not like getting rid of him. Well, considering getting rid of him, not having him. And so some people was like, oh no, you need to get rid of him because you and your son are not together. That would be real stupid of you. Some people was congratulating me, but I didn't tell like outside of my immediate family right away. And yeah, but eventually I ended up keeping my baby, as y'all can see. And what it was like during my pregnancy, to be honest, it was terrible. But the pregnancy itself wasn't that bad, if you get what I mean. Like, my emotions, the hormones, everything was terrible. I was getting contractions. I was having contractions. Like, my son, he was so small. He was not growing. So it was a lot of stress. It was a lot of stressful moments during my pregnancy. But the good overweighed the bad. That's what I'm going to say. I was having to go to the hospital, getting blood work drawn. My son, he was born as a vanishing twin. So I was pregnant when I initially found out I was pregnant at 12 weeks. I found out I was pregnant with twins. Unfortunately, the other one didn't make it. It was something called vanishing twin syndrome. And I always wanted twins. And this is my first time getting pregnant. But the other one didn't make it. So that made complications for my son. And so he wasn't growing. I wasn't gaining no weight. He wasn't getting no oxygen, nutrients through the placenta. It was like really scary. So I didn't find out until I was 32 weeks pregnant with my son that he wasn't growing inside. And so the hospital already, you know, established that he needed to come out, and so that's what we did. We got him out at 37 weeks, which is still full term. They was telling me like anything after 37 weeks, he might be a stillborn, he might not make it because he's not getting nothing that he's supposed to, none of the nutrients through the placenta. And so it was really stressful. And so when he finally came, he was so small. He was only like 3 pounds, 14 ounces, almost close to 4. So unfortunately, he was in the NICU for what, 9 days. He was in the NICU for 9 days. He was growing so fast in there. Well, that was still stressful also. Like, I was coming home after giving birth. After birth, terrible. The afterbirth, the aftermath of birth was terrible. Well, for me, because after I gave birth to my son, I then found out I was having severe preeclampsia. During my pregnancy, it was just mild preeclampsia. I was taking baby aspirin. Then after I gave birth to my son, it became severe. And so I was on medicine for 24 hours. It was called Pitocin. That was to prevent me from having any seizures, and it was just crazy. Like, my liver enzymes was low. I kept having to get blood work drawn to see like what was the cause of what was actually wrong with me, because I was having pain in my stomach. And then I got discharged because I was in the hospital for 5 days. I did not want to stay there, so I got discharged eventually. But while I was in there, it was terrible. I was on a water diet. I couldn't eat nothing. I couldn't drink nothing. I was just on the IV for a few, you went to it? IV the whole time. I couldn't even consume anything, and so they really wasn't trying to let me eat nothing because they didn't know what was wrong. But eventually, 2 months after that, I think in February, 8 weeks later, I had got surgery on my stomach because they found out what it was. My gallbladder, one of the stones, the gallbladder stones got stuck in a duct. Like, it's like a little pipe where the stones get released from the bladder, and it got stuck inside my stomach. So I had to get surgery, and I got the whole gallbladder removed from my stomach. All after giving birth to my son. That was the reason I kept having to get ultrasounds in my stomach to see like exactly what was wrong. I thought it was something that happened after giving birth, but it wasn't. It was my gallbladder. It was one of the stones that got stuck, and I couldn't eat nothing until they found out. So that was really stressful. But my baby, he was in the NICU for a few days. I was there every day taking care of him. I didn't live too far from the hospital where we was at, so I was there every day just taking care of him. I was pumping milk for him. I was changing him, feeding him, reading books to him. I was doing skin to skin, everything that you do. My baby, he was strong and healthy, and it just took him like a few days to gain weight. And finally, December the 25th, Christmas Day, he got discharged from the hospital. So that was a cool thing. He got discharged from the hospital, and yeah. And what it's like now, I can honestly say like it's a breath of fresh air. Like, me and my baby, we just be mobbing. Like, it just be me and him all the time. I take care of him full time. His dad is not around, as y'all know from the previous video. I stated that before. He's no longer around. He was here the first few months of his life, but a lot has changed, and I'm just blessed that my baby's here. He's healthy. That's all that matters to me now. But I do wish sometimes his dad was around for the extra support, because my son is so bad. He's so bad. He need like his father figure in his life. But I'm doing a great job as a mom. I know that everybody tell me that all the time. So I'm just so blessed and happy that my baby everything turned out to be cool. Because I always wonder, like, why around this time I had to have a baby? Like, why me? Like, after all these years of me dealing with my son dad, why around this time of the year I find out my son dad that I've been with since I was 16 years old had a baby, cheated on me, had a baby with someone else, and then in the midst of me being pregnant, had a baby with someone else. So he had 3 kids all in the same year. So I always just wonder, like, why me? Like, why I have to go through this? So at the end of the day, I found out that everything, you know, was written for us. And so, you know, whatever is written for us is what we have to go through. Never question the higher power, and just be lucky that we're here. So we're here, we're healthy, we're blessed. And my son's birthday, his birthday is coming up in 2 more weeks, December the 17th. I will be taking him to Disney, and we will be taking a flight to Florida on the 18th. We're going to be staying there for a few days, so stay tuned for that video, because I will be uploading a whole vlog of us traveling. This is his first time on a flight, traveling to Florida for his birthday. Okay, guys, and so make sure you like, comment, subscribe for the next video. Peace out. Stinky. Peace out.